basically me and Ifit, we've never worked with a podcast before. And our presentation idea was for you to listen to a bit of our podcast first and then present and we made like a toolkit for how to make podcasts, basically. So first you will hear a little bit of...
Numbers more than double the previous high set only last year. In Malmo alone, several hundred people are arriving every single day. And we spent the day interviewing some of these people to try and hear their stories.
I come from Sweden, from Iraq. This and my foot.
Okay, is it because the bone? So
yes.
You lost your fingers?
Yeah.
And, okay, and you're showing us a wound on your leg? Okay, yeah. Okay. What was your journey like? How many countries did you travel to get to here?
Turkey, Egypt, Macedonia, Serbia, Croatia, Hungary, Estonia, Germany, Sweden. 9 countries.
And how many days?
15.
15 days.
Yes.
Do you know how many people were coming with fever and who are having a cold, but also many people who have been walking long distances and have blisters on their feet, for example. Unfortunately, we don't have so many volunteers that have the education to actually hand out medication, so that can be a bit difficult sometimes. But yeah, what I mostly do is send them to other organizations who can help them with, for example, applying for asylum, or help them to find the right train or things like that.
We have problem with the militia.
He said, close your shop, close your shop. She's good. Then they come in her shop and
Get out of it.
get her, and she was alone, woman,
He's pulling
and
out.
push her.
And
And she's call my father.
they close the door.
He tell her, you not stay in Iraq one day more. If you stay, we'll kill you and your family. So we take, we leave everything we have
And
there.
destroy the
And
shop.
they burn the shop
And
in
destroy
the
the
night,
shop.
and I don't know.
We can, I'm taking
They, last morning,
Get out.
everything is here.
Take it.
Without
I need
any,
nothing. No money, no.
no money, no documents, no.
Okay, you're done? Okay, so do you want to go to, obviously we went to the train station and we spoke to people at the train station. What we wanted to do is to use podcast to make a toolkit, so it's easier for people to be able to learn how to use podcasts. And we're hoping that by doing that we can get people in with immigrant voices to use them to tell their story instead of the single stories that we are often seen and presented by today. So here's our short toolkit. So it's a no-cost report that they can use. You need a smartphone and you need an app, and you can download that. And obviously a laptop and some software. So we have some suggestions to the software that we've been using today, and it's been free to download, and it's also free to promote it on social media. You can record it also on your laptop or your Mac or what you have. What we saw today at the station is that everybody also has phones, and they have smartphones that they're accessible. You can also use Skype to interview people. So equipment, obviously the better equipment you have, the better microphones, the better sound and audio you will have. The only cost you have might be for some web hosting. Yes, so you can use it both as an NGO, you can use it as activists, and yeah, to distribute wherever you want to watch your target groups. Today we had some challenges, I think, to be aware of, like in terms of recording sound. such as background noise, people interrupting you, people talking in each other's mouths, and we also saw a little bit towards approaching people, that it was different when we all three kind of approached at the same time as to when one person went up, aware about your gender in terms of who you're talking to. There were some codes there, so you need some cultural sensibility to be sensitive. So we recommend to be aware of these things, and we also talk about, you know, how do you want to edit the story also afterwards. You know, so that you make sure you cross your I's and dot your T's in terms of what story you want to get out, so it's not misused.
I think what we've learned today, just working together, is that you don't need expensive resources. Nothing today cost us any money other than the equipment we already had to hand. And then the second thing would be, you can learn in the course of the day how to do this from scratch and get something online. The process becomes more complicated the more you want to spend on it, and the more work you have, the more time you have to put into that work. But what we will do, the next step for this project would be to complete this toolkit. So you're actually giving somebody all of the resources that they need to work at the level of ability they have to really, you know, build up the tools they need to produce a podcast and reach new, diverse communities.
I think that one of the advantages that we had was that everything that we needed was just basically at our fingertips, right? So we just, like they were saying, we were just using mobile telephones and whatever we had available, and it was unbelievable how quickly it was done. And I think that in many ways, that if me and Susanna can perfect this, we probably like put people like Raven out of business, and Listening Post, you know, they can, you know. But
bring a local star or British.
yeah, but I think that Susanna said something about, you know, approaching people, for example, and the fact that you have, one of the things was that his daughter talking with her father was there as well, and he kept like talking over her. So it was really important to be able to talk to her on her own, but then you have to build trust first, right? Because we were talking about people that have escaped from a regime who have maybe been used to being you know, under extreme censorship. They're not allowed to express how they really feel. So those kind of things are important to take into consideration when you're interviewing people of maybe a culture or have belonged to a system which is very different from the democratic one that we have here in Sweden or in other parts of Europe. Was there anything else?
Yes, but don't have that assumption when you meet people. You know, so have those questions, ask yourselves those questions, but don't go into it assuming that that's the other person. You know, too many assumptions, that's also kind of kills the story, and that's what we want to avoid by letting them tell their own story. That's our final.